The American Revolution, a time of turmoil, war, and hardship. The British had oppressed America for far too long, and America was finally ready for a change. They declared war on British after several British actions pushed America just too far in 1775. During the fight for freedom, some people turned to desperate measures. One of those people included the first president himself, George Washington. Washington decided to create a group of spies with the help of Major Benjamin Talmadge. They ended up calling these spies the Copper Ring. These spies were created to gain intelligence from British superiors, and they used methods such as invisible ink, aliases, and encrypting all of their letters to stay hidden. The Copper Ring consisted mainly of men, however, it did include a few women. One of such was Agent 355.
Though most women took supportive roles such as nurses that helped the wounded, cooks to feed them, and maids to provide the soldiers with what they required, it gave women the opportunity to become more involved with the American Revolution and to help the soldiers in the battle for freedom. Agent 355 became more involved in a more direct role by becoming a miraculous spy. She was able to gain information on the British that others could not due to her prominent Tory family that had close ties to the British. Her family gave her access to obscure information about British plans for the war, and with this information she was able to give the Continental Army an advantage. One of these advantages the Americans gained was when Agent 355 was able to arrest Major John Andre, the head of England's intelligence operations in New York, by strategically placing herself in almost every party that Andre attended. At those parties, she had a few drinks with him to get him to talk about British plans and activities subtly. It was at one of these parties that she got wind of the British plan to gain West Point by subversion. West Point was an important strategic fortification on the Hudson River, so whoever held West Point held the Hudson River Valley. She relayed this information back to Washington to further advance American efforts and delay Britain's retaliation. On top of catching Andre, they also found passes for him signed by Benedict Arnold, the most infamous traitor in U.S. history, in the plans for West Point at Tarrytown, New York. He was then hung on Washington's orders. Though Arnold got away, West Point was kept out of British hands. This was just one of the major accomplishments Agent 355 has made to keep the Continental Army ahead of the British during the American Revolution.
You might think that Agent 355 might seem like some incredible spy because of her ability to obtain all this information alone, but the thing is, she wasn't alone. She had a handler named Abraham Woodhull. Woodhull praised her work in a performance review letter telling George Washington that 355 was quote-unquote one who hath been ever serviceable to this correspondence. Woodhull again directly refers this in his correspondence when in August 1779, Woodhull wrote, I intend to visit 727 before long, and think by the assistance of a 355 of my acquaintance, shall be able to outwit them all. This further gives insight into how much wit and intelligence Agent 355 had when it came to outsmarting people, providing how much of an asset she is to the Copper Ring, and gaining the respect she deserved, but was not always given due to the fact that she was a woman.
Like all distinguished heroes, Agent 355's story has to come to a close. Though most heroes have an epic finale, 355 actually had a rather mysterious end. In the fall of 1780, Benedict Arnold became suspicious of 355, and he had every right to, considering the fact that he was a traitor planning to sell out West Point to the British. Since she knew about Arnold's deception, he took drastic measures and captured 355 on suspicion of spying and imprisoned her on a British prison ship. We don't know exactly what happened to the ship, however, we do know that due to her loyalty, she refused to give up any information regarding the other spies of the Copper Ring. On top of being interrogated for information, when she was captured, she was also pregnant, and on board the ship, she actually ended up giving birth to a child. No one knows for sure whose child it was, however, it was rumored to be Robert Townsend, another member of the Copper Ring whose alias was Samuel Culper Jr. This was a popular belief because of the fact that the child's name was Robert Townsend Jr. He became a lawyer and a politician and was active in creating a monument to those who lost their lives in the British prison ships. Due to Townsend Jr. being a real person, this rumor has been given credibility in regards to who the father is.
Agent 355's story is unknown to most, however, it was significant in gaining independence for the American people, and her actions as a spy and the loyalty to the Copper Ring is just one of the many reasons that make her an unsung hero that should be remembered. To this day, we are still unaware of her identity, however, there are a few popular theories out there, such as her being Anna Smith Strong, the signal woman on Strong's neck. Whoever she was, Agent 355 was a powerful woman with a strong will, wit, and strategic ability that believed in something bigger than herself, freedom for all.